Okay, quick Tuesday morning radar update. So, positive start this morning. We've punched the opening range on the FTSE 100. DAX 250 above the opening range. Small caps gapped up quite a long way there, and well, we're tight range days, isn't it, at the moment? And we're just drifting lower, closing that gap. Not that it will close, but let's quickly look through a couple of markets. Bitcoin just at the lower end of this range at the moment. Moving on from that, I'd like to see some back and fill base action to even look at, crypto. Dollar just, had a little bounce, didn't it, a couple of days ago, and close to 52-week lows, I suppose. Down in this range is happy days for us. We'll just bring cable up. Cable's pottering around above this baseline here, and we'll have a look at gold. And gold is, we've noted this huge level up here on gold, and expecting it, reverse vol base, expecting it to break straight out. I think it was a little bit of a long shot, but it might do. But I'd expect it to just coil up a bit more. We're seeing a few gold stocks, but not many. Let's just note that the last time it moved up to a big level, it went sideways for 2 to 3 years before it broke out. So, and that this was a tightening base as well. But gold can go sideways for many years. Anyway, we'll judge it on the stocks, what hit the screens, rather than the actual gold price. Let's move into today's volume leaders. So just looking through what's on volume today. Trading average volume or above. All positive stocks what are positive rising over the short term, and there might news related pops in here what having a positive effect. Any stock getting a negative effect to news, well, it won't pass this screen, will it? It's simply what the screen is for. So if you've got share scope, very easy to set up. It's 9:44. We should have traded, I'd say 20% to be on average volume. And do I do it in order of volume? No, I'll do it in order of sector. We'll just buzz through these, see if there's any growth stocks in here, see what's anything new hitting the screens. This lit, obviously, pretty boring area. We talked about it over here. It had a little move, but not for me, that kind of stock. Moving on. Seems like I suppose it was an age ago, wasn't it? Looking for stocks what can trend and re-rate rather than, and take a basket of stocks. Some of them are just going to fall to sleep. Some will re-rate. There is no magic screen for this. You just got to turn up, and that's where technicals and fundamentals meet. So Taylor Wimpey, these tend to move as a pack. This has got negative forward numbers. It's a main market swing stock anyway. Not going to get much beta out of that. I'll just punch RNO in. I don't think I've ever traded this one. It's kind of, it had an earnings breakout, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if it can just sort of do some nice price action after this gap up here, some nice price action, a nice base, to see that the bigger players are actually accumulating it, and rather than just it having a short term pop and just fizzling out. But yeah, one to sort of maybe come back to in the future. Body coat, same, main market stock. Moving on. Let's just buzz through and see if we can find any of those growth stocks. AXL finally, it trades new all-time highs in the history of the world. So IPO breakout, kind of a bit of a high in the sky stage one, and then we got this bigger base here, and the bigger base was respected, and it just went sideways for another age, didn't it? It's been going sideways for a year, that one. So hopefully it's back in its those who are in it, I would say hopefully it trends for you. What else have we got today? Vast is trying to do some nice action, full on POS. This is in the gold space. So do your own research and all that. It hit the screens, which at the moment for a gold stock is a positive, isn't it? Because not many are hitting the screens. Boohoo, rinse and repeat. This was the growth trend. This one didn't pass a value screen until probably somewhere over here. That's where it started trading value, and then it went on. So if you think a PE ratio has some magical sort of, reason for the stock to start going up again, you can lose half your money very fast. So this was if you're new to the markets, I lose 10 followers every time I talk about pet stock. So basically, this one went up because it re-rated on really strong growth. And some people are selling very early on this. And, if you want to make money, you build your position. So you're buying early. You're not selling your position on the way up. But then they do reach an extent where, these early bases, they reach an extent where you've got a huge position and you might have some kind of threshold what kicks in, and you might start vol targeting. Well, it's not going to be on a small cap. It's not going to be when it's up 50%, is what I'm trying to say, because you sell your best positions, you look back, you've lost more money by selling your best positions early. You're better off soaking up a bit more volatility, in my opinion, and letting big winners actually have a big effect on the account. And this thing broke trend here, and basically it based out again. It had a little feeble breakout because it had a lot of supply, didn't have the growth anymore, and then it actually started trading towards a little bit of growth, and then it just fizzled out, I think. But this had turned from a small cap into a more efficient larger cap stock, and this circle here was the first time it hit my swing screens. It hit a breakout screen here, swing screens here, and we talked about this being it's now a short. It's a vehicle for shorter term swing trading rather than a re-rate. I look for stocks what I can buy and hold on average a year to 18 months is outlier sort of hold time, and a good outlier hold time for a good winner. This is a swing vehicle, traded multiple swing moves before it got axed, and this is awful price action. It went back to highs, but it's still volatile, awful price action where it's people just selling, forced to. So many people have got to exit this position, and just look at the volume on a higher time frame, and it's all sell volume. And then it rolls over, and usually when they do hit the lows, a stock what's hit the lows and then bounced and started to rise again. Many don't, but the reality is that they just go into this horrible bottoming volatile action. They don't. Very few instantly get this action again, this nice trending action. They just go wide loose. Basically, you see this action down on the lows, and if you're a short term sort of investor, you trade little bounces in these things. High turnover sort of strategy. Well, maybe you like that kind of stuff, but I'm into small caps for riding trends, and us traders do not trade in and out of these positions all the time. We get on board the trend and we ride the trend. So yeah, horrible action, good action. That chart's got everything, hasn't it? Never underestimate the price action. All the fundamentals are in that price action, all baked in. Moving on, let's just see what else we find. Deliveroo is actually coming off this bottom. This is actually quite orderly action, isn't it? But it's a lose less scenario, this one, and it's probably a story of turnover. Let me try and bring my screen over a bit. I don't know why my screen's all changed. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it's not exactly changing much, the turnover. It's pretty flat actually year on year, but maybe one day we'll look at it a bit closer. And GMR, yeah, it's broke out of this kind of base here. Bit creative, but at least it's trying. So we'll see. It's at least it's traded 52-week highs. It's the last. It's bumped into 52-week highs, I should say there. So worth watching, I suppose. Okay, a little bit of everything in that one. We'll leave it there.